North Carolina's Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson will now officially appear on the ballot for the state's gubernatorial race amid inflammatory comments he allegedly made on a porn site. He refused to drop out of the race ahead of a midnight deadline to update the state's ballots, which came and went. A CNN report alleges Robinson made a series of racist and sexually explicit comments on a porn site between 2008 and 2012. In an interview with CNN yesterday, Robinson denied he said anything contained in the report.
This is not us. These are not our words, and this is not anything that is characteristic of me, nor has it ever been. The people here of North Carolina know I have been completely transparent about my history.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins me now from Raleigh, North Carolina. Nikole, North Carolina's Governor Roy Cooper spoke a short time ago. What did he say?
Yeah, well, he took a few questions on this matter. I asked him explicitly, given that this is also his lieutenant governor, although they are from different parties, Roy Cooper, of course, being a Democrat, Mark Robinson being a Republican. But I asked him if he had any knowledge about these posts before that report dropped yesterday. He ultimately said, and an aide confirmed that he did not, but he did say that this is consistent with some of the other incendiary things that the lieutenant governor has said in the past, particularly about women. So he continues to be very disturbed by it and told me that he for some time has called for the lieutenant governor to step down. That being said, we also caught up with Robinson's Democratic opponent in the gubernatorial race. That is Josh Stein. He was addressing the AFL-CIO earlier this morning, and I also asked him about his comments yesterday. He put out a statement saying that Robinson is completely unfit. Yesterday, you called the lieutenant governor completely unfit. Do you think he should drop out of this race?
I don't think he ever should have run. He is unfit, unsuitable, unqualified to be governor. He says disqualifying things about people. You cannot talk about other human beings the way he does and lead an entire state.
So by and far, Democrats here in the state feel that the lieutenant governor should step aside and again, drop out of the gubernatorial contest. But as Mark Robinson has made clear, he is not doing that. He continues to defend himself against these allegations, as saying that he never said that. I know that you played some video of him telling CNN that he did not make some of these comments. But that being said, you know, the reporting and the post are out there for now. The Republican Party of North Carolina is standing by Mark Robinson, although former President Trump has thus far remained mum.
I wanted to ask you about that because former President Trump had endorsed Robinson for governor at the beginning of the year. He has since praised him on the campaign trail. We know that Trump has an event in North Carolina. Do we expect that Robinson will be there?
Well, that certainly is something that we will be watching for, but given the political firestorm that this has caused, it seems unlikely. That being said, as you mentioned, you know, the former president has heaped a lot of praise on Mark Robinson over the past months and years. In fact, he got a prime speaking role at the Republican National Convention this summer. The former president has compared him to the slain civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., even though Robinson has been very critical of Dr. King and used negative language to describe him. So that being said, you know, right now it seems that the Trump campaign is trying to keep its distance, knowing that here in North Carolina, this is a very critical state for the former president. He has made multiple trips here. In fact, can count them all up, at least on one hand, if not two, within the last couple of months. So there's a lot on the line here for the former president, but he is expected to still be here for that rally tomorrow in Wilmington.
Nikole Killion, thank you.